What's up, guys? We got a special edition build show for you. This is a highlight reel of a presentation that I gave with these two really smart architects that I've built several houses with before. You know, you see me on the build show talking about smart building techniques and products. These guys are going to help you design a cool house, a well-built house, an energy efficient house, a smart house to begin with. And again, this is just a highlight reel. The full 1 hour presentation with everything in it is over on our website. So if this piques your interest, go check out the link in the description and you can go over to buildshownetwork.com and watch the full hour. With that being said, let's get going. These two guys are the OG green building, green designing architects from Austin, Texas.
What do you start off doing if you're an architect wanting to design a really high-performing home? We own a fair amount of rental properties that we maintain, some commercial, some residential. And that's where you really learn the value of the decisions that you made. Why is the green building movement failing in its mission? They get into things about a green roof, but really what are you trying to obtain doing a green roof? Instead of zooming in on the minutia, let's look at the big picture as to what we're trying to accomplish.
Common sense is not common though anymore,
just
right?
just like overhangs over windows, you would think that would be a natural thing to do. Our ancestors knew what to do when they knew how to design a house with no air conditioning, no insulation, just basic wooden materials.
Yeah.
But we've kind of lost our way a little bit in that. So we like to go back and look at what those people did and take their spirit of the can-do attitude that they had.
I love that.
And bring it to what we do now.
Later on in the visit or on the job site, they were talking about the nuances of the rainwater collection system. And I stopped them and I said, what do we want to do that for here? Hong Kong, you get rain 100 days a year. And what are you going to use the water for? Well, we're going to water the yard. The yard was smaller than the studio, Matt. But over the years, we learned that this green building term was getting almost a negative connotation. I don't know if you saw that too, but sometimes people would look at you and say, well, I'm not so sure I want to be wearing Birkenstocks sandals and chewing granola every day. How about high performance? It's a better performing home.
So what you did in Montana, you wouldn't do in Central Texas.
That's right.
And you wouldn't do in San Diego. But these folks, because they were designing to their site and to their climate, they naturally gravitated to doing those things.
I love that.
If you want your home designed to be timeless, don't try to import a style that was developed for another climate, another part of the world, and expect it to still look relevant in a few years here. The solar system isn't working anymore, and they didn't even realize it.
Well, Matt, the houses shouldn't be green by gadget.
That's a great way to say it.
They should be green by design. How it's built should be comfortable to live in.
But what I love about what we're talking about today is it's not products. This is smart design, and it starts with good architecture, good design.
We call it project programming. Well, we'll go through a programming guide where they'll tell us what they want. But then Al's going to spend a lot of time with them finding out, why do you want that?
This is listening to the needs of the client and using those to start to lay out the house. But then there's another important component of that, also listening to the needs of the site. I feel like the architect needs to pull himself back and look at the needs of the site, listening to the site, listen to what it's telling you about how a house might want to interface with it, and then listening to the needs of the client, and then figuring out the optimal way those two pieces need to fit together. And then that really is the big idea.